Alright, I'm coming to you guys from North Dakota. Where in North Dakota are we? Hey guys, coming to you from St. Michael, North Dakota. I have a couple hours before my gig. I want to talk to you about 5 apps that guitar players should have on their smartphones. In parentheses, apps that I use all the time on my phone. Disclaimer, I use an iPhone, so I'm only familiar with how these apps work for iOS. I'm pretty sure there's equivalents for Android, but I can't comment on them. So, okay, number 1, you always have to have a tuner, right? I use TC Electronics Polytune app. I use the Polytune on my pedal board, and I use the clip-on tuner for my acoustics, so it's natural that I would gravitate towards the app. It looks and works exactly like the pedal version, so it's very familiar to me. You can play each string individually, or you can strum all 6 strings at once, and it'll show you which strings are in tune and out of tune. So you can select for bass, different tunings. You can change it from 440 to whatever. I always keep it on 440. Display mode needle, or you can have a stream. So the app's not free. It costs, I think, $4.99, but it's totally worth it. Number 2, when I practice guitar, I like to practice to a metronome. The one I use is called Pro Metronome. I just started using this one. I was using like a really basic one, but I just bought this one and I'm not super familiar with it. There's a back and forth Knight Rider style visual aid to help you. Okay, here's a cool feature. It has a playlist of different songs and rhythms, and it has Pink Floyd's Money set at 126 in 7/4 time. So let's go. So that's pretty cool. Cajon rhythm. You can also tap in your own tempo. It'll figure out the BPMs. Metronome, gotta have it. Number 3, if you go online and search around for tabs, there's a bunch of sites that provide tabs for different songs, but the one that I like to use is called Songster. There's an online version and then there's an app. I like this app because it's a clean design. You can find almost any song tab. So let's do Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. So you can, you basically can swipe across and see the tab with the rhythms, which is nice to have. Sometimes other tab software doesn't have the rhythms, they just have the numbers. I like to see, you know, if it's an 8th note, a 16th note, so forth. And it also, you can play the tab, and it has like a little MIDI sound to it. And then it scrolls. How cool is that? And another cool feature for Songster is, so you have the tab, but if you just want to learn the chords, there's a little button here. And then it's got the lyrics with the chords on top, so you can switch between just regular chord charts or tab. They'll usually have multiple guitar parts. So like here, I don't know if you can see, but it'll show you Izzy's part on the song, or Slash's part, Slash's solo, Slash's overdubs. It even has the bass parts too, so you can get the tabs to Duff McKagan's part on the song. So it's really thorough as far as having all the tabs in one place. Songster is free to download. There is a pro version. There is a plus subscription, I should say. And what that gets you, I think you can print out the tabs. It's totally worth downloading it. Number 4, kind of along the same lines as Songster. It's more, I wouldn't say jazz oriented, but it's more chord charts. And it's called iReal Pro. If you've ever read like a real book that has a bunch of jazz standards and pop standards, it's the similar idea. If you go on the forums, there's different categories listed: jazz, Brazilian, pop, rock and blues, bluegrass, country, etc., etc. So you can find basically any song chord chart. So if you're on a gig, or you're playing a wedding gig or something, and someone makes a request for a tune that you're not necessarily familiar with the chords and stuff, you can just go jump on here and you'll probably be able to find it. There's Pop 400. you can download 400 various pop tunes. We got Jackson 5, Toto, Beatles, Kanye West, Steely Dan. And you know, you just open it up in the app, and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see, let's do Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So it kind of lays it out in a basic chord chart form, and the cool thing is you can transpose it. So let's say it's originally in B minor, I want to do it in A minor. Boom, it automatically transposes the chord chart. And another cool feature is if you hit the play button, it plays like a simple backing track. So what I like to do is, there's a bunch of preloaded jazzy type chord progressions. So like blues minor, let's do that. You can actually practice improvising, you know, against this backing track. And if you want to make it faster, and if you can also change the key. So it's a very useful tool for working musicians, and it's a great source for simple backing tracks to practice jamming to. I know they make it for iPad too, so on gigs I like to bring, you know, my iPad mini, and I'll have all the charts ready to go right there. And number 5, it's kind of a cheater one. It's YouTube. YouTube has been the biggest source of guitar content in the past, I don't know, 10 years. Everything from gear demos to guitar lessons to guitar type vlogs. When I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube. I had magazines, and I had like VHS videos. So you youngins are pretty lucky. Even I go on YouTube for guitar lessons. I'm constantly learning stuff from all these different YouTubers, and you know, guys like Troy Grady and Tim Pierce. You know, they have some great content that even professionals like me can still learn from. You can find absolute beginner guitar lessons up to, you know, expert guitar lessons, and it's all basically free. That's the most amazing thing. Take advantage of it, you know, while you can. Hopefully it's not gonna go away. So if you like this video, click the like button and leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.